My name is Steven. This is my life partner, Nastaran. We have created a book that was published in 2012, which is 10 years ago. And we're just now launching this book. It's been sitting on the shelf. It's called I-Ran Into the Light.
You can buy it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble as of right now.
Otherwise, like, I ran into the light. I, the human being in the country of Iran, moving into being, into the light.
I am from Iran. I was born and raised there, and I moved here in 2005. I think I was about 24. I met Steve in 2006. A few years went by, and I was born in a war between Iran and Iraq, and I went through a bunch of trauma and radical religion.
Radical everything.
Radical everything. Education, life, parents, relationship, everything to the extremists. So there's a lot of story I wanted to tell to everybody, to people that they are going through right now in 2022 in Iran, to the women out there, so we can relate and we can heal together. It took me about I want to say about 8 months to a year. I was really guided. Something was forcing me to write the outline of this book. And back in the day, my English wasn't that great because I learned it here. So I went to Steve and a few times, and I asked him, please help me to write it. Now you can go on.
So. And just a quick background for myself, and I really want to just apply my background according to the book, where we met and things like that, and then we can go deeper and further back at another time. But I had been a pro athlete at one point. I came out to LA about 27 and became an actor and a model, and did that for a very, very long time, and then found the spiritual path and got very, very, very serious about that. Discovered so very much. And then meeting Nastaran, I remember at the beginning, she was very shy, barely spoke English at all, was shut off and hiding.
Interval. I was very interval.
Interval? Now, you'll see her say a lot of interesting words. I thought I was going to get hit. You'll hear her say a lot of very interesting grammar and interesting words when we have interactions, and there will be interactions, and maybe she's on. Can you let me talk to the fine people? There'll be interactions live on the computer, I'm sure. Please don't correct her grammar. As when you read in the book, we capitalize on that and play with that quite a bit. So she has her own vocabulary, so we'll just let her have that, and it's a lot of fun. So please don't change it. So when I saw her, I was, this story is interesting. I saw her at the gym for over a year. I noticed her right away, and I had my eye on her, but never really said anything. And then one day,
24-hour fitness.
24-hour fitness. And then one day, about a year later, one day I remember saying to myself, all right, today's the day I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say something. And literally after that day, we've basically been together for 16 years ever since. But along the way,
with ups and downs.
Ups and downs. Talk about a roller coaster ride from hell, and
to heaven and
back again, and say, make sure there's nothing. No, there's nothing down there. Yeah, but it's that way. So no, but let's go again. No, definitely. In fact, we scared everybody down there. Let's go the other way where we belong. And we are really actually coming off of the big dip down to take the big dip up, and truly, it's been a kind of a miracle that I believe that we're together. It's destiny that we're still together at 16 years. And to be very honest with you, it's never been better. We worked for it. We fought for it. We went up against everything that you could imagine, and here we are, smiling and best friends, the best friends that we always were. This book has been sitting on the shelf for 10 years, since the year we printed
2012.
Yeah, it's 2022 now. So.
Yes. 10 years.
The math is interesting too, as you'll hear about that. Very interesting math. And I every year after, I said, babe, it's time to get this book, to stand in this book, to get it out there. And just silence, which means no. This is the divine feminine at its most powerful level. I'm the divine male. This is the yin yang. This is two tornadoes that have been colliding for 14 years and realized they were the same tornado and became one united being. That you're looking at today, to the point where oftentimes we will have the exact same hand gestures or sitting in the same, very exact same way, down to the very pinky. And we just laugh about it. So finally, this symbiotic relationship and working together positively rather than being obstacles for one another that we were for so very long. So for so very long, I said, let's get this book out, and she just wasn't ready to stand in it. And finally, just recently, hearing all the news coming from Iran, mind you, Iran into the light. I'm seeing every other day something on social media. I'm like, babe, it's time for this book. And she goes, I know it is. And she had her own personal growth to prepare her to be in this position now and speak powerfully and eloquently and intelligently through an acting class of hers that we'll talk about it probably soon, where it is, acting is life, and to get the proper training is to get the proper life coach, and just, it just all came together where she's in this super powerful place now, and I've seen her acting really move and becoming very inspiring, and as a person, as a human being now, she's just grounded and strong and powerful.
It's just all about knowing yourself. It took me, I'm still in a process like everybody else. Life is, it's an ongoing lesson forever until the last breath you would take and die. And I'm excited.
There's no death, only life.
There's no death. It's the transformation. I'm sorry. But I needed to know myself because I lost all my identity growing up in Iran. Everything was taken away from me. Everything. So when I moved to this country, I tried to fit in to American culture and the girls that are here, and what was good about it though, because I got very well educated and well versed through all different culture, because we live in Los Angeles and we have such a diversity. But at the same time, it didn't help me in many ways, because I was trying to fit into this group, to that group, to that group, and it took me until recently, maybe two years ago,
16 years with me.
2 years ago, that I realized, oh, I'm enough, and this is me, so I can calm down and be grounded, and I have all the tools that I need in order to make my life moving forward and make it happen, and manifest whatever I want to manifest, which we're going to go through all of that.
And we want to touch on all these things, and as she mentioned it, she came from one of the most extreme experiences in the world, and in my opinion, she came right over the ocean looking for freedom and came into the other most extreme environment. I consider Los Angeles, California, ground zero, and we were right in the middle of it, and it's chaos, extreme chaos here, especially right now in 2022, and but sometimes great things come out of chaos, and we basically, you'll look around, we'll show you around this apartment that I've been in for a very long time. The walls are now speaking through art. All the walls are painted and filled with art. We surrounded ourselves with beautiful animals. We came into our cave, our sacred cave, to meditate, to know thyself, to love one another. This is our sacred space. And
for me, one of the biggest lesson was not only knowing myself, knowing be kind to other humans, which that was one of the difficult lessons I had to learn, because up to recently there was no human kind to me, especially when I was growing up. So I had tons of, I guess,
identity issues. And it's this incredible obstacle course that she grew up in, that if it doesn't kill you, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Mm-hmm. And this incredible obstacle course that she grew up in formed and forged the warrior you see before you, the beautiful, strong woman you see before you. But let me tell you, incredible amount of work had to be done. When I first met her, she was a bit of a mystery. She was very shielded and hiding, and hiding all the anger and rage, really, that was going on inside her. And I had to come up against that for a very, very, very long time. And it was super, this is in a life that's been very extreme for me and very hard for me and very difficult in very many ways. And as it is for everyone, but I can put my story up against anybody's. This relationship was by far the hardest thing I've ever done. It was the greatest challenge, and it's also the most rewarding thing. And just right now are we kind of really reaping the rewards of it, but we had to really work for it and earn it. And I watch life through a microscope. It's all the little things mean so much, and we know how to talk about relationships, and we know what it takes to make a real relationship and make it work. We know about healing, we know about spirituality, we know about reaching and striving and manifestation. We know about love and caring and Mother Nature, and these are the things, and really the book, we cover the full spectrum of life in this fairly small book. We hit on the full spectrum, from religion to government to love to animals to healing, DMT. So there's a lot to talk about in this book.
The second one is coming.
The second one's coming, and I've been begging her and saying for years since we wrote this that you better get the second one ready because they're going to want it right away.
But he got the silent treatment for a long time.
When that we weren't ready. The art on the front is mine, and it's a painting. And let me just go into that actually, because we were looking for the
why did you choose that?
So we were looking for the cover. We knew we needed something special because it was a special book, and we knew we had done something very interesting and very amazing, really. And so it was interesting because we put the feelers out to the universe, like show us, what it needs to be. And at first, a guy showed up at our local mall here at the Grove that was a caricature artist, phenomenal, really amazing. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we asked him, we thought he was going to do something, and we gave, the idea of us and all the animals and, running through outer space or something, or out of the hell into the, hey, we're here. It just never worked out. And every time we wanted to match up with him, he just kind of would flake out. And so we're like, and all of a sudden he hit me, no, this painting right here.
It was my idea.
Oh.
To choose one of your artwork.
Okay.
But I can't remember why you chose
this one.
This particular
so
one.
This is a very interesting painting, and what it did is I mirrored it and then kind of and attached it together to make it this mandala, this sacred geometry type image that has really phenomenal symbology that it showed up all on its own, as it often does with my artwork. Truly, the universe is coming through me. I just simply allow, as I did with the writing of this book. We also wrote a second book called Just Be, which is about Mother Nature being the original teacher.
It's a
coffee table book, and we're really happy with that one too. But this one's about her around, and so this is like a power cell. You know what I mean? And there's so much going on here, and I explained it there on the front cover.
I think. Well, we're gonna come back again and talk more just about the chapters and more about the healings and just how
techniques and where we are
at right now and what's about to come. Like in the second book, we can have some announcements. But
we're hoping with this Instagram that we are going to connect with an Instagram family.
Especially people from Middle East. Doesn't matter where you are.
Absolutely, yeah. And sure we can share. And the thing about life.
That being said, all women, we all share the same problems. Doesn't matter where you're from. The core issues are the same. So everybody's invited.
One woman is every woman.
Yeah.
And one man is every man. And we are all that connected. There is no separation. There is only oneness. And so as you said, we all are interconnected, and everyone's going to relate to this book because our story is going to relate to your story in some way. Most of our stories are very similar. We're all experiencing trauma, and but we're not. We don't have the wisdom or the teaching at this point on planet Earth to heal from those traumas. And
that's why we keep repeating the same cycles, and it happens. And it shows in everyone's life that they keep repeating, and the same problems with different scenarios keep showing up.
But it's the same root. So we are living Groundhog Day. If you remember the beautiful movie, powerful movie with Bill Murray, the day is repeating. If you pay attention, your day is repeating. Life is repeating over and over and over again to help us get it right. So our job as human beings, I want to grab Valkyrie right now.
No, be fine.
If you get closer, I'm going to put you in the movie here. Pay attention to these cycles that keep coming back and back and back. It's the same pain. If you pay attention, different characters, but the same root pain. Mm-hmm. And you can even track that issue because you're going to get, when you get triggered, into your body, go zero in on it and remove it because it got placed there. So, you know, you can have play tennis with your therapist for 20 years talking about the very same issue over and over again with nothing getting resolved. This is about going into the roots.
It does get results.
Some results on a certain level, on a certain level.
Yes.
But this is about getting down, and we're all capable of it, getting down into the roots and pulling it out by the roots. And we go into detail with that in this book.
Let us know if you have a particular question. Please just leave a comment. But we're gonna come up with more videos, and we'll see you guys soon.